Hello, welcome back. Okay, I'm with Juan Carlos. We're talking about many different subjects concerning his work, his family, his life, his transportation habits, etc., etc. Now I'm going to go back. Excuse me, I don't remember. How long have you been married?
I have been married for 2 years.
Good, very, very good. How long have you known your wife?
I have known my wife for 4 years.
Okay. How long have you been living in your current house?
I have been living in my current house for 10 years.
Oh, for 10 years. Okay. Have you finished paying for it yet?
Almost.
Almost. Masele.
Almost.
Good. Okay. How many years do you have left on your mortgage?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
See, not many.
Not many. All right. And are you planning to buy a new house?
Right now, I'm not planning to buy any house.
How many bedrooms are there in your house?
There used to be 4 bedrooms.
There used to be 4 bedrooms. And now?
Now we have 4 bedrooms, but one of them is not used as a bedroom.
Okay, so you used to have 4 bedrooms, but now you have 3.
Yes.
You used to have, antes tenían 4 dormitorios y ahora solo tienen 3. They used to have, antes tenían, they used to have 4 bedrooms, now they have only 3, because probably he's using the 4th bedroom as an office. Is that true?
Yes, it's true.
Do you use it, or does your wife use it too?
We use it. We both use it.
Okay, how many computers do you have in that room?
I have 3 computers.
In that room?
Yes.
And, do you need 3 computers?
I probably don't need them, but I like computers. So
All right, fine. Do you use all 3 or only 2 of them?
I normally use only 2 of them.
When was the last time you used the 3rd one?
The last time I used the 3rd one was 1 year ago or something.
Okay.
Around 1 year ago.
And why don't you use it now?
Because it's old, I suppose.
All right. Are you planning to get rid of it?
Yes, I plan to get rid of it.
How are you going to get rid of it?
I probably give it away.
I will probably.
I will probably give it away.
How old is it?
It is 10 years old.
Oh, it's a very old computer.
It's a very old computer, yes.
All right. Is it connected to internet?
Yes, it is connected to the internet.
Very good. Okay, now, so you got married 2 years ago.
Yes.
Okay, was it a big wedding or a small wedding?
It was a medium-sized wedding.
How many people did you invite?
We invited 200 people.
How many people came from abroad?
One person actually came from the United Kingdom.
Very good, okay. And was the wedding in the morning or in the afternoon?
It was in the afternoon.
All right. Was it in a big church or in a small church?
It was in a small church.
Okay, was it in a church in the center of Madrid or on the outskirts?
It was, the church was on the outskirts.
Okay. And did you choose the church or did your wife choose the church?
We both chose the
No
church.
entendido.
We both chose the
No,
church.
tampoco entendido.
We,
Conjuga bien el verbo.
we
both?
We both chose the church.
You both chose the church. Okay. Had you ever been to that church before?
No, I had never been before to that church.
La sintaxis no me ha gustado.
No, I had
Never?
never been
To.
to that church before.
Good. One more time.
No, I had never been to that church before.
Had your wife been there before?
No, she hadn't been before to that church.
¿Y por qué vuelves a la mala sintaxis?
Well,
She had never?
she had never been to that church before.
Very good. And so why did you choose that church?
Well, we chose
¿Cómo? Perdona, no he entendido.
We chose that church because it was near the restaurant.
I was near the restaurant. But
Yes.
did you know the priest before the wedding?
Yes.
Did you meet the priest before the wedding?
Yes, we met the priest before the wedding.
How long?
Once.
How long before the wedding did you meet the priest?
We met the priest 2 months before the wedding.
Okay, and how old was the priest?
The priest was around 40 years old.
Okay, good. So you had the wedding in the morning? No, in the afternoon.
No, in the afternoon.
What time did the wedding start?
The wedding started at 5 p.m.
And what time? How long did it last?
And it lasted.
No entendido.
It lasted
Good.
1 hour.
It lasted 1 hour.
1 hour.
Okay. Did you hire the services of a photographer?
Yes, we hired all the services, including
¿Cómo?
including
¿Qué es including?
including
All right.
including photography and restaurant.
Okay, good. And did you go to a typical restaurant for weddings and banquets?
Yes, we reserved. We
No, we
made reservation in a big restaurant.
Repeat, please.
We made reservation near.
No, pluralízamelo.
Reservations.
Siempre. Hacer reservas, igual que en español. Aquí se dice, hicimos una reserva, vale. Pero en inglés se hacen reservaciones, literalmente. We made reservations. Okay.
We made reservations
in a big
restaurant.
Good. Okay. And were you happy with the food and the service in the restaurant?
Yes, we all were very happy.
We all were? No, we were all.
We were all very happy with the restaurant.
Good. What time did the dinner start?
The dinner started at 8 p.m.
Wow. Okay. And what time did it end?
It ended around 3 p.m., 3 a.m.
Okay, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Early in the morning, yes.
Did you stay there until the end, or did you leave before the end?
We stayed there until the end.
All right. And did you go on a honeymoon after that?
We went on a honeymoon 5 hours after. 5
hours
after.
later?
5 hours later.
Okay. So did you go by car or did you fly?
We flew.
You flew. So 5 hours later, you were in the airport, or
Yes.
3 hours later.
Well, 5 hours later, we were in the airport.
Okay, good. So you didn't sleep?
We had 4 hours.
All right, you slept for 4 hours.
We slept for 4 hours.
Good, and then you went to the airport.
Then we went to the airport.
And did you fly to Germany?
No, we flew to Heathrow.
To Heathrow Airport.
Heathrow.
So you flew to London.
We flew to London, yes.
London.
London.
Okay, good. London. Lisbon, Boston, London. Okay, you flew to London.
We
And
flew to
how
London.
So you spent your honeymoon in England?
No, we didn't. Actually, we flew to London first.
London? No, London.
We flew to London first. London.
¿Cómo se dice amor?
Love.
No, love, no. Love suena a risa. Love.
Love.
¿Cómo se dice por encima de above?
Above.
All right. ¿Cómo se dice paloma de campo? Dove. Hay un jabón, dove. Dove. Above. Love. Repeat. Dove.
Dove.
Above.
Above.
Love.
Love.
London.
London.
Ahí está. Qué bien suena ahora. London. So you flew to London, but only to continue somewhere else. Is that correct?
Yes, it's correct.
Okay. And how long did you? So you only stayed in the London airport, or did you visit London?
No, we only stayed in the London airport.
How long were you in the airport?
We were in the airport for 3 hours.
And then where did you fly to?
Then we flew to Singapore, to Sri Lanka.
To Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
To Colombo.
Colombo.
All right. Did you stay in Sri Lanka?
Yes, we stayed. We arrived in the morning, in the following day, in Sri Lanka. Early in the morning.
And how many days did you stay in Sri Lanka?
We stayed in Sri Lanka for a couple of hours.
Only for a couple of hours?
Only.
And then where did you fly to?
And then we flew to Delhi.
To New Delhi or Delhi. Okay, that's interesting. And did you continue flying or did you stop there?
I stopped there.
We stopped.
We stopped there.
And how long did you stay in India?
We stayed in India for 10 days.
Good. I have a question. Why did you fly from London to Delhi via Sri Lanka?
Good question.
Sounds very strange to me.
Yes, it sounds strange, but we flew to Sri Lanka because we were flying with Sri Lankan Airlines.
Very good. Were you tired when you reached Delhi?
No, we weren't.
We weren't?
We weren't.
Okay. Okay. And did you travel around India?
Yes, we traveled around India.
Did you rent a car?
We didn't. We were we were driven by some other person.
Ah, a private chauffeur.
Yes,
You had a private chauffeur.
yes.
Was he an Indian man?
He was an Indian man.
Good. And did he drive well?
Well, he drove like Indians.
Okay, were you afraid sometimes?
Yes, very much afraid.
Very afraid.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Very afraid.
And did you go to the Himalaya? Did you go to the mountains?
We didn't go up to the mountain, but we were near there.
Okay, did you go to Kashmir?
Yes, we visited Kashmir. No, we didn't visit Kashmir. We visited Kathmandu.
Kathmandu in
Kathmandu,
Nepal.
Nepal.
Okay, did you like it?
Yes, we liked it a lot.
All right, fine. And did you visit Madras in the south?
We didn't visit the south of India.
Okay, and did you go to Bombay?
We only visited not Bombay, neither. We
Okay.
visited. I remember we visited Jaipur,
Mhm.
Delhi, and then Ganges or
The Ganges River,
Ganges
Benares.
River, Benares.
Okay. And did you see the Taj Mahal?
We saw the Taj Mahal.
Taj.
Mahal.
Were you impressed?
Yes, we were very much impressed.
No, very impressed.
Very impressed.
How many hours did you spend at the Taj Mahal?
We spent the whole morning.
The whole.
The whole morning.
Good. And were there a lot of people there? A lot of tourists?
There were a lot of tourists.
Would you like to go back to India someday?
Yes, I would like to go back to India someday.
If you went back to India, would you visit the same places or other places?
I would visit some other places.
Okay, good. And were you impressed with the Indian culture?
Yes,
¿Cómo?
I was very impressed with the
No, está bien.
culture.
With the
Oh.
culture? By, también nos vale con impresionado. Okay, you were impressed by the culture, impressed with the culture. But didn't you find the country dirty and poor?
Yes, I found the country very dirty and poor, but the people were smiling
Okay.
wherever wherever I went.
Wherever we went.
Wherever we went,
But were you on your honeymoon alone or with your wife?
with my wife.
Okay, wherever
And
we
two
went.
more other couples.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But did you know the couples beforehand?
No, we didn't know the couples beforehand.
De antemano, ¿cómo se dice?
Beforehand.
So it was a tour. You
Yes.
joined a tour.
I joined a three-couple tour.
Okay, good. Were the other two couples Spanish?
Yes, there were two more Spanish couples.
And
with us.
did the driver speak Spanish?
The driver spoke a little bit of Spanish.
And did you communicate with the driver in Spanish or in English?
We communicated with the driver in English.
In English, okay. And was he also your tour guide or only a driver?
There were one driver and
There was.
there was one driver and one tourist guide.
Tour
With
guide.
us.
Tour guide.
A tour guide.
Okay, so the driver simply limited himself to driving.
Yes.
And the tour guide
That was
to explaining
his
it.
function, yes.
And did the tour guide speak Spanish?
The tour guide spoke only a little bit of Spanish too.
Okay, good. So basically, did the tour guide explain everything in English or in Spanish?
Everything in English.
And did the other two couples understand English?
The other two couples had some problems with the language.
And did your wife understand the English?
My wife had some trouble too,
Okay.
understanding the language.
So were you the interpreter the whole time?
Most of the time I was the interpreter, yes.
Okay. All right, fine. And does your wife know English better now? Or does she have the same level as 2 years ago?
She's not very interested, very much
Lo has dicho bien primero.
she's not very interested on learning.
On? ¿Por qué on?
In learning.
Okay.
In learning a different language.
Repeat, please.
She's not very interested in learning a different language. She
Okay.
doesn't need it.
Okay, is she older or younger than you?
She's some months older than me.
A few months.
A few months.
Some
older.
months está bien, pero se dice a few.
A few months.
She's a few months older than
Older
you.
than me.
Okay, good. And does she need English in her job?
She doesn't need English in her job.
Does she work in the private sector or in the public sector?
She works in the public sector.
Is she on leave of absence now or is she working?
She's on
Leave of absence.
leave of absence.
Just
now.
a second, I'm going to speak to the camera. Leave is salir o marcharse. Él se fue, he left. Voy a salir. I'm going to leave. Voy a marcharme. I'm going to leave. Escrito leave. Leave como sustantivo tiene el significado de permiso o excedencia. Si pides permiso de un mes, it's 1 month leave. Permiso por maternidad es maternity leave. Permiso por enfermedad es sick leave. ¿Ok? Y si queréis decir la expresión formal, total, se dice leave of absence, literalmente, salida de ausencia. Okay, but we say leave. And his wife is on leave now. Basically on maternity leave. She has taken leave. She has requested leave, formalizando la cosa, with the public sector. She works in the administration.
Yes, she does.
Does she work in the national government?
No, she doesn't.
Does she work in the municipal government?
No, she doesn't.
Does she work in the regional government?
Yes, she works for the regional health department.
Okay, good. Is she a doctor?
No, she is not.
No, she's not. Is she a nurse?
She isn't. No, she isn't.
Is she a teacher?
No, she isn't.
What does she do?
She works for the administrative department.
Okay, good. All right. But is her background, is her education in administration, business administration?
She has a degree in teaching
Okay, she has a teaching degree.
and administration.
Has she ever taught?
She has never taught. She only did some practices.
Okay, good. Have you ever taught?
Yes, I have taught some periods, some small periods.
Do you like teaching?
Yes, I quite like teaching.
All
Yes,
right.
It's an
Enjoyable
profession.
profession?
Yes.
All right. Did you teach humanities or technical things?
I taught technical things most of the time.
Ask me how long I've been teaching.
How long have you been teaching?
I've been teaching since 1974. Yeah, since before you were born, I think. When were you born?
I was born.
I was born?
I was born
In?
in 1969.
Ask me where I was living when you were born.
Where were you living? When I was born?
I was living in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Ask me where that's located.
Where is Oklahoma located?
It's in the center of the United States, right in the center and slightly south. Ask me what state is located right in the center of the United States.
What state is located right in the center of the United States?
Basically 2 states, Kansas and Nebraska together. Nebraska is just north of Kansas, and those 2 states constitute the geographical center of the United States. And Oklahoma is immediately south of Kansas. Ask me what state is south of Oklahoma.
What state is?
What state?
What state is south of Oklahoma?
Texas. Ask me what state is south of Texas.
What state is south of Texas?
There isn't a state. Well, the country of Mexico is south of Texas. Okay, and ask me if Tulsa is the biggest, Tulsa, escrito Tulsa. Ask me if it's the biggest city in Oklahoma.
Is Tulsa the biggest city in Oklahoma?
No, it's not. Ask me what the biggest city is.
What is the biggest city in Oklahoma?
The biggest city is Oklahoma City. Okay, ask me if Oklahoma City is the capital.
Is Oklahoma City the capital of Oklahoma?
Yes, it is. And ask me if Oklahoma City, ask me what the population is of Oklahoma City.
What is the population of Oklahoma City?
I think it's around 400,000 people, perhaps like Valladolid, okay? Ask me what the population is of Tulsa.
What is the population of Tulsa?
What's the population of Tulsa? It's 300,000. It's a little bit smaller. Ask me which city is richer.
Which city is richer?
Ahora pasamos a rich, porque está delimitado la elección entre dos. ¿Cuál? Este o aquel.
Which city is richer?
En esencia, en inglés decimos, ¿cuál ciudad es más rica? Tulsa is richer. Ask me why.
Why is Tulsa richer?
Because Tulsa is a city that was built on oil, petroleum. It's very rich. Oklahoma City is a rich city too. Oklahoma City is the biggest city in the world in area. Yes. Oklahoma City incorporated a lot of land, and it's very big in area. What you call término municipal is it's enormous, okay? It's a very big city. Okay. And ask me, when you were born, I was living in Tulsa. What month were you born in?
I was born in...
Burn? Quemado?
Burn, no.
Born.
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 I was born in February.
In February?
February.
Ask me what I was doing in February 1969.
What were you doing in February 1969?
Playing basketball. Yeah. Playing basketball. Competitive basketball.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a winter sport.
It's an interesting sport.
Yes, and in February I was playing seriously basketball, and I was in my, that's February 1969? I was in my junior year. Ask me how old I was at that time.
How old were you at that time?
In 69 I was 17. I was 17 years old. And I was in my next to last year of high school. Okay? And I remember playing basketball in February. What day were you born on?
I was born the 14th of February.
On the 14th?
On the 14th of February.
So I know exactly what I was doing. The day you were born, I know exactly what I was doing. Ask me what I did the day you were born.
What did you do the day I was born?
I gave a box of chocolates to my girlfriend on that day. Ask me how I know that.
How do you know that?
Because the 14th of February is St. Valentine's Day.
Oh, yes.
Día de San Valentín. And I remember very, very well. Because, ask me why I remember that so well.
Why do you remember that so well?
Because another person took a photograph when I was giving her a box of chocolates. And that photograph showed up in the yearbook, the annual publication of the school.
Do you still have that picture?
In Texas, not here, I think. Maybe I have it here. Ask me when the last time was I saw that photograph.
When was the last time you saw that photograph?
10 years ago, 15 years ago, etc. I was 17, and she was 17 too. Okay, so I know exactly I know one activity I performed, or one action I performed on the day you were born. And what time of the day were you born, do you know?
I don't remember.
Because this was in the morning in the school.
Yes, probably I was born in the morning.
Good. Ask you what the time difference is between Spain and Oklahoma.
What is the time difference
between
Madrid and Oklahoma?
7 hours. 7 hours. Ask me what the time difference was in 1969.
What was the time
difference?
The time difference in 1969.
I don't know. Perhaps 6. Ask me why I think it was maybe 6.
Why do you think it was 6 hours?
I don't know, because it's strange. Spain is situated on the same time zone as Italy and Germany. It's not situated or located on the correct time zone, because Spain takes more advantage of sunlight. Spain, half the year, is 1 hour ahead of solar time, and the other half of the year is 2 hours ahead of solar time. You know that in the summer, in late June, early July, it's still light until 10:15 or 10, sometimes 10:30. It's not dark yet. That's unnatural in other countries. It's just not seen. I'm not in favor of it, but I understand why people like it. I prefer the solar clock, because I like to get up in the morning with the sun, and it's always dark in Spain. Okay, so ask me how much time we have left.
How much time do we have left?
1 minute. So in 1969, if you were born in the morning, 7 hours before, then 7 hours after you were born was when I gave the chocolates to my girlfriend at that time. Okay, ask me if I still have contact with that girlfriend.
Do you still have contact with that girlfriend?
No. Ask me when I lost contact.
When did you lose contact with that girl?
Girlfriend, 2 or 3 years later. Okay, so I don't know anything about her now. Okay, it's been a pleasure. All right, it's been a pleasure. I'll be right back, nevertheless. Okay, so don't go away.